Hi guys, it's Rachel here and I am back with month 4. Can you believe it? Month 4 of our Journal of Stitchery, and it's Old Quilt and Country Cottage. So I have quite a lot of quilt bits from, I bought them from Melanie in Australia, and I've also bought them from Lulu Retro, and I've also bought I bought that spool from Deb from Lulu Blueworth. And on the spool there was lots of, I have a whole box of old quilts that I've collected over time, especially from Melanie from Purveyor of Reclaimed Textiles, or whatever she's called. Sarah has linked her before, and then I have in that box are hers and Lulu Retro. I'm getting confused with all these names. So, but anyway, I undid my spool that I got. I bought one for Mum and I bought one for Sass for Christmas, and I thought I better get one as well, because then otherwise, you know, that's not fair. And and so we might. I mean, they've been collecting from the same people as me over a long period of time as well. So. They'll have similar things to me, so we might do something similar, who knows. So I'm just going to go through these. Now these are very thick, it's beautiful color. So what Mum taught me to do with the really thick ones is it takes a bit of time, but you get your scissors. Where's my little scissors? Here. Get your scissors, don't cut your base, get your scissors, and you need to cut them, and then you just slowly take them off, and it still keeps the quilted look. But I don't want to use a big, it's been on the floor, I don't want to use a big thick piece like that. So that's what I would do. And mum, when she's done hers, this one doesn't seem to have it, but when she's taken hers apart, she's found other lovely pieces of fabric inside, and she learnt that from Mandy Patulo. Yeah, so that, I mean, that's another thick piece. I would separate that from its batting. This is a thinnish piece. So I'm just going to go through these. I haven't brought them all up, but I just grabbed some. There's some fabrics in there as well, some lovely fabrics. And I just want to go through and see, isn't that beautiful, what I might like to use to see what grabs me. Oh, see, she's got some triangle bits in there too. It's already a house. See, like you could just combine it with a lovely fabric and oh, well, they would go well together, wouldn't they? More like the other side. Oh, that's already a house. Well, that's lucky. There's an embroidery there. It's all kinds of things. I think I've had this fabric before. I bought that from a lady in France. Oh, here's another green one. Let's have a look in here. No, that's just got the batting in there. So there's all kinds of. So there's this big piece here. I was looking at this thinking this could be my background. It's almost big enough. So what I would do is just measure it there. I'd actually just measure it. I'm not going to have a base piece because this is thick enough. I would just measure it with, this is my size for my pages. I'd just trim it off at the top is my thought. This one. So working on composition obviously this week. And then there's this other triangle piece that I found in the bundle. So I might have to trim off a little bit, trim off the bottom there, I think, because it's too big. And I thought it went well, because I've already looked at the fabrics, but I did think it went well with this. And it's got a little button there. I thought that's really cute. And that's as far as I've gotten with my idea. Or if I trimmed it down, I need to trim this down. The other option is to do a smaller house, but I wouldn't do the base of my house. So I'm going to use the quilt at the back, and I might use the quilt for the roof, and then the rest will be fabric. So I'm going to actually fold this over and trim it. I have to trim it there, I think, or there. Trim it there. I don't want to ruin it. I can keep that strip for something. Still too big, so then I might trim. It's a bit too much at an angle for my liking. Now I probably trimmed it too much. I have a wonky roof. I made that quite a bit smaller, so then I need to make this quite a bit smaller, and I did like it more that way, so I can end up having a lovely little piece to use for something else. So I'm thinking that's it. There, that's going to be my house. I'm going to have a garden. This is going to be a very quick video. I'm going to have a little garden down here, and I'm thinking I might even, if I can, I don't know, if I can use silk ribbon. Just a minute, I'm having another thought. I also love this. So let me just try different option. I just want to try different option. I could do a slow stitch background, or I could even have this. It's got thread on it. Let's just fold it to get it to the size. Like, that's my size. So I'd just trim it down. It's strong enough by itself to, it'll be a bit bulky because you need to test all the things out before you start. Might stew about this one for a few days before I publish the video, because I'm pre-recording these videos because I don't like to also, I even do them normal times, but I don't like to, I got stressed when I was doing them the day of. See, that could happen as well. And then you could have bits of old quilt for your windows as well. Maybe I prefer that. Decisions. See, this is really cute. But what I would do is maybe separate this. See, this one's going to separate better because it's hand stitched. The other one was machine stitched. This one's easier. Let's have a look. See how you pull them apart? Nice multi sort of. It's probably really, well, it would have been washed, so I don't think it'll be dirty. Looks like it's recycled. The other one would have been, the machine stitch ones are hard to pull apart. But well worth it, because I'll show you, look. You get the crinkles all stay in there from the quilting. But I was thinking, this will come off easily now. I don't think I'll keep that. I was thinking this would be very cute as doors and windows. Might put my door over there so I don't cover that. Oh, this green is nice too. Let's pull this one apart too. This one's got, oh, it ripped. This one's got a synthetic lining. The other one felt like more natural fibres. It's interesting when you pull these apart too. Look at the green in there. Look at that. And then I'm going to embroider a garden. Well, that was my thought, because I did a block with a cottage and a garden and a path when we did our stitch collab with Susanna Easdale from Vintage Blend Studio. And I think I would do a green door. That's going to be my door. Fearless, just cut it. I love that fabric. Put that can be my door. And then I was thinking, love these. I have two little windows. Well, I'm kind of deciding, aren't I? I'm not going to use the quilt background. I'm thinking I'm going to do some sort of, yeah, some sort of fabric background, whether it be this one or I might do a slow stitch. Bring that over just a little bit. So there, that's the start of it. but it's going to have a lot more work on it. I don't know if I need a chimney. Do I need a chimney? There was this little piece in the pack. Could cut a little chimney. I might have a little chimney. Let's grab this piece. This feels like a newer sort of fabric. Stick my little chimney in. Oh, I want the flower to peekaboo out. I don't know if it will. Yes, it will. Stick my chimney there. Chimney. What else can we have? We can have some sort of, I always have to put a lace. Some sort of lacy something. Let me see what I've got flying around here. I'm sitting down now. I'm getting tired. Oh, this is lovely. But let me just rip this piece off here. Oh, I lost the flower. That's so pretty. Could I have something like, where would I put it? Put that there. I like that. Okay, lock it in. And then I know I had some other bits of lace on my table. I think I used that. I've already used that one. Let's try and dare to be different. Oh, can't get it out. Oh, what's this? I just found that. Oh my gosh, that's a really precious piece. I don't think this piece belongs on there. No, that belongs on something more delicate. Sometimes these drawers do not come out. Just trying to see all these random bits and pieces that I have flying. That's similar to what's already on there. Oh, I haven't visited these pieces for a while. What else is down here? Let's have a look. I always love this kind of lace. So I'd quite like that. Why don't we put that there? And you notice I never put them across. Occasionally I would put it right across, but more often than not, I would put it not, and I wouldn't put it right there where the center is. I would just have it going off like that. Or I could have this one. It's a curvy bit, so I could just cut a bit of the, or maybe I'd cut it there and have the curvy bit on that. Let me just cut it off anyway. I can, as I say, I can use it somewhere else if I just decide not to. No, I like the straight one. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just cut some of this. I love this. I might have that scrappy bit just shooting off the side. I'm not 100% about the background. I'm just sort of thinking not the quilt piece that I had pulled out before, because I'm thinking, well, you know, when I do my embroidery on there, it might not stand out enough. I'm feeling like I need a sort of plainer background, if you know what I mean. What does everyone think? That's the start of my, that's what it's going to look like. I'm just going to look over here for a second. Do you just hold your horses? I'm just bringing over 2 more fabrics. Like, this is a new fabric, but I do really love it. No, I think I like the blue more. That could go. I could have a piece of this in the, or I thought this, no. I could have a piece of this in the background. I'm going to piece some pieces. Oh my God, I can't believe the things that come out of my mouth. Piece the pieces. Rightio. So, that's too big. Is it? I want to just put a piece in there somewhere. Just to break up the blue. I like the messy side first. Put that under there. Maybe have that shooting out under there. Yeah, I don't want it down there where the other one is. So that's it. That's my composition. And then flowers and things are going to happen as well. So I'm going to take a photograph of that. When I stop the video, I'm going to take a photograph And so I remember, because I need to cut this down and I won't remember. So that is it. I've got my composition. I've got my quilt, old quilt here. And I've got my background, yeah, and my house, my cottage, my country cottage. Well, it's going to have a country garden around it somehow. So now what do I have to say? What if you don't have any old quilt? Well, surely you've got a quilt that you don't use at home. Yeah, otherwise, you know what I was thinking? The other option is you could take some quilt fabric, and you could, if you wanted to age it up a little bit, you could, you know, do a quick dip in tea, really quick dip, and it will tone it down to these sorts of tone, you know, sort of old sort of colours. This, I mean, this is vintage. This is not that old. It's just been used a lot. And then you could get a piece of thin, I'd get very thin batting like this one. This is really easy to stitch through. It's very thin wadding, or even just 2 pieces of fabric, and just do row, just maybe even this far apart, quilt them yourself. Give them just go through with, do running stitch through yourself and quilt it, and then maybe go up that way, and you've got yourself a quilted fabric if you don't have old quilted fabric. So this is just a solution that you could do, so you don't have to go out and search for quilt, you know, an old quilt. Okay, so that is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to trim this down and pin it. I will invisible stitch down all of these. They'll all be invisible stitched down like I showed you in the first episode. For anyone who's new, first episode that I did when we did our first page, month 1. I think I want to say it was episode 11, because we did like we did title pages and stuff like that beforehand and samplers. But the first page, my first video for the first page, I showed the invisible stitch, and it's a very useful stitch to know. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm very pleased with it, and thank you, Deb, for including triangles in the pack, because it just sort of fell into place. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next week. Bye.